Hi there, my name's Andrew McMillan. I was delighted to be able to come to the John Hewitt Society. It was a few years ago now when my first book, Physical, was first out in the world, and that book actually now is coming up to 5 years old, which seems a remarkable birthday for it to have had. So in the future, do keep supporting the foundation, do keep kind of going to their events and signing up for the summer school as much as possible, because they're going to need all the help they can get, as are a lot of organisations going forward. I thought I'd just read a couple of poems for us. I'll start with Physical, which is where it all began. And just a little poem from there called The Men Are Weeping in the Gym. Could be some of these men, in fact, behind me. These are photographs by Benjamin Lowy, a New York photographer who photographed college wrestlers immediately after they'd had some matches. The men are weeping in the gym, using the hand dryer to cover their sobs. Their hearts have grown too big for their chests. Their chests have grown too big for their shirts. They are dressed like kids who have forgotten their games kit. They are crying in the toilet, and because they have built themselves as statues, this must mean that God has entered them. They are wringing their faces like sweat towels in the sink. Their veins are about to burst their banks. They are flooding out of themselves onto the tiles. They have turned water into protein shakes. They have got too close to the mirrors. They have got too close to the glass, and now they are laying in the broken pools of their own faces. The lines of them are the decline press, the bicep curl, waiting, staring straight ahead, swearing that the wetness on their cheeks is perspiration, that the words they mutter as they lift are meaningless, that they feel nothing when the muscle tears itself from itself, that they can't hear the thousands of tiny fracturings needed to build something stronger. And then Playtime came out a few years later, and I want to read a little poem from that. Blood. We could be gathered for the reading of a will, each of us wanting to know what it is we have inherited from the one who loved or did not love us. The nurse calls me in for bloods, says she could get it from a stone, wraps my upper arm, taps the inside of my elbow as though it is a trunk she's trying to coax sap from. I close my eyes, and when I open them, it's done, sitting mottled in its canister, and though the questions to be answered, yes, I know the risks associated, and yes, once he was Brazilian. Yes, I did ask. Positive, no protection. When I leave, I feel a dread moving in that will not lift for 2 weeks, settling down to the front of my skull until the text comes through and I am light again. Having put my ear to the dense secrets of my blood and heard nothing but the curious weight which has been passed down through the generations of this family, to know how close to us the dead are sitting, and to believe we honour them best by living. And then, just to quickly finish off, this new show, Granted, just came out, called Membranes, guest edited by Rana Dasgupta. And I've got 6 poems in here, thanks to Rana for kind of asking for them. And I'll just read the final poem of that to finish us off. Stay well and stay safe. The year of no touch, the garden shaggy and unkempt, autumn storms having turned leaves to string, and that night you kissed me, uncertain as drizzle, lips dewed and hungry, and each time I think we've reached the edge of us together like that time in the middle of the Hope Valley, when I made up my mind to leave you, when the lit windows of each house the train passed broke my heart. It was lambing season, late but barely dark, innocent marionettes in womb blood coming out into the night. Each time like that, we feel our way back, and coming home late, you greet me as though newly arrived.